વિદ્યાર્થી મિત્રો, લક્ષ સ્કૂલ ઓફ સાયન્સ બામણમાં ઓનમાં ફરી એકવાર આપણું સ્વાગત છે. આજે આપણે થોડીક સ્કૂલની યાદ કરીશું. ઘણા દિવસ થઈ ગયા સ્કૂલ જોઈને. આપણો ઓનલાઈન અભ્યાસ ચાલી રહ્યો છે. થોડીક સ્કૂલની માટીની સુગંધને અહીં આપણે જોઈશું તો મજા આવી જાય. તો ચાલો સ્કૂલની ઝલક જોઈએ. આપણું સ્કૂલનું આ સિમ્બોલ, આપણી આ સ્કૂલનું બાહ્ય દેખાવ કેટલો સુંદર છે. જો ભારત માતા સાથે આ આપણું એન્ટરન્સ. અહીંથી તમે અંદર સ્કૂલમાં વારંવાર જાઓ છો અને યાદ આવતી હશે બધી. કેટલું સુંદર અહીં લાગી રહ્યું છે. આ આપણે હોલમાં બેસીને પ્રાર્થના કરીએ છીએ, ભેગા થયા છે, મિટિંગો યાદ આવે છે કશું? હાલના શબ્દો નિલેશભાઈ ને આપણા વાતો બધી તો બધું મિસ કરી રહ્યા છે. તો થોડુંક આજે આપણે એને દિલથી યાદ કરી લઈએ એવી ઈચ્છા થઈ. જાત જાતની એક્ટિવિટીઓ આપણે કરીએ છીએ. આ બધું ખૂબ જ યાદ આવતું હશે. પ્રવાસો હવે તો આ વર્ષે ભૂલી જવાનું છે. આ બધું રમતો સ્કૂલને આ રીતે આપણે યાદ કરીએ અને પછી ભણીએ તો મજા આવશે. Welcome back, dear students, to Lux School of Science, and today we are going to talk about a new lesson, and which is included the story of our cells. See, dear students, our body is made up of lots of things. You know, the majority inside is chemical. Such chemicals are known as biochemicals. So you understand, today is our target to study the last lesson of our syllabus, and that is lesson number 14, biomolecules. Dear students, if we talk about our body, then our body is made up of lots of things. Few of these you remember. For example, when we need some energy, at that time we used to speak, take glucose C, glucose D, etc. So here question arises, what is this glucose? What it means, glucose C, glucose D? What is the nature of that? And why it is giving us energy? So such questions are very vital for the chemistry. And when we are studying about the biomolecules, the molecules of our body, then to study this is very interesting. So first, what we used to speak as a glucose, fructose, maltose, lactose, that everything are known as carbohydrate. So carbohydrate, which are the main things which are included in our body, and that is very important even. Okay, other thing then carbohydrate also we can consider, and that is also very vital, and that is nothing but the protein. So carbohydrate and proteins are the main part of our body, you know. So carbohydrate includes glucose, fructose, sucrose, etc. Lots of things in carbohydrate series we can say. If we go with the other thing, then other thing is protein. So protein is also very important for our body. Used to say that we need the protein powder to eat to develop the body. Okay, so protein is there, and protein is made up of amino acids. So to study protein, we have to go first with the amino acids, because amino acids combines to produce protein. So one lesson in this lesson, the important part is first is carbohydrate. In carbohydrate, we are going to study glucose, fructose, sucrose, maltose, lactose, etc. In the protein parts, we will study amino acids. You know, total 20 or 21 or 22 types of amino acids are there. I don't know, but I know that you must know this. How many kinds of amino acids are there? Okay, 20 types. Then third, we can go with, then this is fat inside our body. Okay, so fat and some kinds of fibers. Okay, so fat and fibers are also very vital in our body. So that also we will study just few for. And the most important part, vital amines. We are going to study also here vital amines. And dear students, what is the vital amines? Number 4. In that case, we are going to talk about vitamins. That is also known as vital amines. Okay, so dear students, carbohydrate, protein, then fat, vital amines, that is vitamins, these are our body part, and this body part we are going to study here. But you know what we are made up of? આપણે શાના બનેલા છે? And then your argument is there. Yes, we are made up of something. Our characteristics are passing by something, and that things we are going to talk here. And dear students, that thing is 5th number, and that is nothing but the DNA, RNA. Actually, in the tandem we will write is as a nucleic acids, and in nucleic acids we are going to talk about DNA, RNA, etc. So this is the flow chart. This is the biodata of this lesson. In this lesson, what we are going to study? In this lesson, we are going to study this much: carbohydrates, amino acids, that is protein, fat and fibers, vitamins, and nucleic acid. So come on, dear students, this lesson will be going to be very interesting for us, because this lesson has lots of fun, because we are studying our body chemical, and this chemical will be very interesting. So dear students, come on, let's start with the carbohydrate. The heading on the board is carbohydrate. The name itself suggests what should be the carbohydrate. The name suggests that it should be have carbon, and hydrate means water. So carbohydrate means the compound, chemical compound which are having carbon and hydrate, that is water. So when carbon combines with water, and whatever the structure is developed, it must be carbohydrate. Actually from name. But sometimes what happened? According to this knowledge, carbohydrate, according to this knowledge, they are given name. But actually maybe not be, because it is the very rare history. It is history of 17th century. There they have given carbohydrate name. And modern in history may be different. They differ these definitions. And maybe something more you are going to know. And let's study what more you are going to know. Okay, so here we have defined according to name, okay, which things are containing carbon and water. These are known as carbohydrate. So according to the Asian definition, the carbohydrates are defined that, okay, their compounds is made up of X number of carbon and Y number of water. And such compounds are known as carbohydrate. It was the definition. Okay. Now this definition is somehow true also. Okay. So how it is true? So if I will take X is equals to 6, Y is equals to 6. X is equals to 6 and Y is equals to 6. And then the formula will be now C6H2O6. And if I will multiply this 6 inside, then C6H12O6. What is this? It is nothing but the glucose. It is nothing but the glucose. Okay, if I will take, sorry, X equals to 5, Y is equals to 5. Then I will get C5H10O5, pentose. Okay. You know, everyone know the formula of the glucose, sucrose. What is the formula? C6H12 C6H22O11. This is the formula of sucrose. So sucrose is C12H22O11. Now here Y is X is 16. Okay, and Y is 11. Put here. So if we will put C12, sorry, C12, so C is 12 and Y 11. 11 2s are 22, 11 1s are 11. So this is also true. So dear students, this definition seems to be true at first sight. Yes, this formula is correct. Carbon X, water Y, that will give us carbohydrate. Okay. So now we will change something. Now get interest here. Okay. I have taken one chemical CH3COOH. The name of this chemical is amino acids. Everyone know. So this amino acid. If I will write general formula of this amino acid, then C2 carbon 2 times H4O2. So this is nothing but the amino acids. Now if I will take like this, C 2 times, and here from 2 will be common out, H2O twice. This is also there. Now this is nothing but the amino acids. Okay, but it follows the rule of the glucose. It follows the, so that's why we are not able to say which follow this formula are carbohydrates, because this is the carboxylic acid, and carboxylic acid also following the rule of carbohydrates. So this is not correct. Okay. Okay. See, we are very, we human beings are very interesting persons, because sometimes when we make something, then lots of persons come out to break this. Okay, any definition are khoti che. Okay, and see, the one chemical is there. Its name is Remnose. Okay, and this Remnose has the formula C6H12O5. Actually, it is carbohydrate. Actually, it is carbohydrate, but it is not following the formula of this rule. And that's why now onwards, don't understand that carbon and water is combined to give the carbohydrate. Only the name is there. Given it is that carbohydrate. Okay, but the component should be very different. Not it is water. Carbon is not with water. Okay, so question arises in your mind. So what should be there in carbohydrate? If carbon and water is not there, then what should be there? Okay, so now I'm disclosing slightly some character of carbohydrates. Okay, so see the character of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are actually ketone or aldehyde. Carbohydrates are actually have ketone chain of the ketone or aldehyde. Okay, so now the topic is changed. These are not carboxylic acids. These are keto-base or aldo-base carbohydrates. So what is the component in the carbohydrate? The component in carbohydrates are ketone or aldehyde. So we can say that these carbohydrates are having ketone group or aldehyde groups. Actually, when we taste this carbohydrate, it looks slightly sweet. These are the sweetening agent also. If we talk about our home, then we have the sugar, our common sugar. Okay, that common sugar is nothing but the carbohydrate. That is nothing but the sucrose. It comes from the sugar. Yes, it's come from the sugar cane. And juice of sugar cane is nothing but the giving us carbohydrate. Okay, so keto base or aldo base, and their sweetening. Okay, so whatever the sweetening agents are known as sweets or saccharides. In Latin word, the saccharides means sweet. So that's why these are known as also saccharides. Okay. See, whatever in our kitchen sugar, tea sugar is nothing but the sucrose. While milk is also look like a slight sweetness. So what is there in milk? Dear students, the lactose is there in milk. So milk contains lactose as a carbohydrate. So this is our story. In milk we have lactose. Okay, so dear students, so this is our story about the carbohydrate. Okay, and in Greek word saccharon means sweets, and that's why these are also known as the saccharides. So now saccharides word come. So I would like to give you the classifications of the carbohydrate. So on the board the heading is now Carbohydrates Classification. Okay, so according to the attachment of the carbohydrate, okay, they are divided into main three parts, and main three parts are, first one is monosaccharides, second one is oligosaccharides, and third one is polysaccharides. So these are the three parts of the carbohydrate. So carbohydrate divides into three main groups, which are grouped at monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. Now here we are going to talk about first monosaccharides. Dear students, when the hydrolysis of carbohydrates done, જ્યારે આપણે કાર્બોહાઈડ્રેટનું હાઇડ્રોલિસિસ કરીએ ત્યારે અગર એ બીજા પાર્ટમાં ડિવાઈડ થઈ જાય અને બીજા પાર્ટમાં ડિવાઈડ ન થાય એવું બની શકે. જ્યારે એની અંદર પાણી ઉમેરીએ આપણે તો એ બીજા પાર્ટમાં ડિવાઈડ થઈ પણ શકે અને ના પણ થાય. તો ડિવાઈડ થાય તો શું કહેવાય અને ડિવાઈડ ના થાય તો શું કહેવાય? So if hydrolysis cannot divide if the hydrolysis of the carbohydrate cannot divide the carbohydrate, then it is known as monosaccharides. So hydrolysis cannot divide the carbohydrate. Such carbohydrates are known as monosaccharides. So which cannot be furtherly divided into part. They are final, remain as it is on the hydrolysis. They are known as carbohydrates, monosaccharides. Okay, so I hope that you understand the definition of monosaccharides. Monosaccharides are nothing but the carbohydrate which cannot be divided on hydrolysis. Okay, so now on hydrolysis which can be divided in some part are known as oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. So what is oligosaccharides? So dear students, on hydrolysis the compound or the carbohydrate divided into 2 to 10 molecules. How many molecules? 2 to 10 molecules. Then these are known as oligosaccharides. So remember the number 2 to 10 molecules are divided furtherly on the saccharide on the hydrolysis. Then these are known as oligosaccharides. So hope that you understand the definition of oligosaccharides. Which are known as oligosaccharides? So oligosaccharides are nothing. So I will give you example. Okay, how divide? What to say? So you are what saying? We didn't understand. Okay, how it is divided on hydrolysis. So come on, let's study. First example. So sucrose. Everyone know the formula of the sucrose. C12H22O11. This is the sucrose. Now I am doing its hydrolysis. So I have added water. So on adding of water, it is divided into C6H12O6 plus H12O6. Out of this one is known as glucose and another is known as fructose. So dear, this sucrose is divided into two parts on the hydrolysis. Which two parts? Glucose and fructose. Okay, and that's why this is known as disaccharides. So oligosaccharides on the division by the hydrolysis, they also categorize in some category. If it is divided into two category, then disaccharides. If it is divided into three category, it is known as trisaccharides, and if it is divided into four category, it is known as tetrasaccharides. So up to 10 you can give the name to them. So here, when oligosaccharides are divided into 2 to 10 number of molecules, then it is known as disaccharide, trisaccharide, tetrasaccharides, in general oligosaccharides. So hope that you understand the oligosaccharides. Now here I have given example of sucrose, also example of lactose. Okay, lactose is divided into two glucose. Here glucose and fructose મળે છે ને, પરંતુ એના બદલે lactose બંને ગ્લુકોઝ માં ડિવાઇડ થઈ જશે. So this is also disaccharides. So nearby lots of molecules are obtained into the oligosaccharides category. While in monosaccharides category, we have nearby 20 compounds are there which are included in monosaccharides. Here so many saccharides are there which can be included into oligosaccharides. Now we will talk about the polysaccharides. Is it necessary to give definition, or you understand the definition of polysaccharides? Hope that you understand the definition. And definition is like this. If the carbohydrates on hydrolysis divided into more than 10 molecules or many molecules, then such carbohydrates are known as polysaccharides. They are known as polysaccharides. So dear students, this is our story about the polysaccharides, and this is very simple. Okay, so hope that you understand the monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Dear students, the carbohydrates are furtherly divided into the some innocent sugars. Okay, and let's study this part. So sugar or the carbohydrate, which are sweetening agent, they are divided into further two categories. One is known as non-reducing sugar while another one is known as reducing sugar. So what do you mean by reducing sugar and what do you mean by non-reducing sugar? So dear students, which can reduce failing reagent, are known as reducing sugar. So reduces failing reagent are known as reducing sugar, and which cannot reduce the failing reagents are actually known as non-reducing sugar. So we have this kind of sugar, okay, which kind of reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar, which are known as reducing sugar, which can reduce the failing reagent, these are known as reducing sugar, and which cannot reduce this, then it is known as non-reducing sugar. So we are moving on the last topic of the carbohydrate. Okay, and last topic, earlier we said that carbohydrates are divided into another two categories, aldehyde base and keto base. Aldehyde base carbohydrates are known as aldose, and ketone base are known as ketose. So aldose and ketose. According to number of carbon, they are divided. Suppose we have taken 3 number of carbon and it is aldehyde. So it is known as aldotriose. So પાછળ ઓઝ લગાડી દેવાનું. It should be written as a ketotriose. If 6 number of are there, then aldohexose. And 6 number in this, then ketohexose. Dear students, remember aldohexose is nothing but the glucose. Glucose is also known as aldohexose, and ketohexose is known as fructose. So in fructose we will have ketone group, and glucose we will have aldehyde group. So this is the most interesting and very important part of the lesson we have here completed. This is the story of the lesson number 14, and the name of the lesson number 14 is biomolecules. That will be more interesting now.